The Edmonton Oilers have only held a 2-0 series lead once in the Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl era. That's once out of 13 playoff series. And tonight they've got an opportunity to take a 2-0 stranglehold lead over the Vegas Golden Knights and bring it back, drag them back to Alberta and back to Rogers Place. Could you imagine Saturday night? Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but damn it, a man can dream if he wants to. Oilers Knights, Knights Oilers Game 2 action. As Chance the Rapper said, I believe, in that SNL skit. Let's do that hockey, baby. Hello and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, presented by Sherwood Ford the Giant, and is also, you know it, a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, you know it, it's never ordinary. I am joined this evening by a late bullpen call. Whenever I ask, he always answers. He delivers. It's my boy, Dan Gallant, Nation Dan, runner, OG king of hockeyfights.com. That hasn't really been getting a whole lot of work right now. Some bullshit. I need more scraps here in the NHL playoffs. Daniel, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. It's probably going to be a little bit quieter on your end than it might be for me later tonight as we move along into After Dark. But Daniel, how are we doing? A vibe check, my brother.
Doing great. We're 5K deep in my run today. We have a new Pope to look forward to. And the Edmonton Oilers are up 1-0 in a series. Did not think I would see you in a Game 2 show where the Edmonton Oilers are actually leading a series.
It's, as I said, a man can dream. And that Game 1 victory, we'll get into it. We'll unpack it some more. That was a dominating victory. But yeah, dude, shout out Pope Leo. Clap it up for Pope Leo. And I have said, it's in Bordzy's bankroll. We've been saying it all day. You give me an omen like Pope Leo when Leon Draisaitl is playing hockey tonight. It's Leo's world. We are just living in it. Let's get caught up into the chat. Look at that, my boy. Brett, also put that back up for 1 second. You pointed out they have very similar smiles. Keep going back and forth. They have very, very similar smiles between the two. Also, hilarious to me that this Pope is from Chicago. He went to Illinois or Villanova. He's a Cubs fan. So, hey, Brett also said that must mean he's a Chicago Bears fan. Boo. I hope that is not the case. Also, I look so red right now, but I swear to you, I'm not actually that red. It's just
that
what's
Vegas
going on.
sun. It's getting you.
Hey, that's what we get here at Greta Barriak. Let's get caught up in the chat. Austin, he's back. First comment of the day. My ON fam, this is not a drill. Make me black and white. Make me sepia again, because that was pretty funny. What year is it, baby? My ON fam. This is not a drill. What a great day for a game day. This is our time. Hope will never die, Bordzy. You know what to do. I'm going to add a simple cup. Yeah, Daniel, follow me.
Cup, yeah.
There it is. Southpaw. Hope will never die. Let's go, Oilers. And a motherfucking cup. Yeah, Brett, you're up 2 now.
Yeah.
There it is. Amanda's in with some hearts. Slick Sticks. First pregame I can hop on since last year's playoffs. We're happy to have you back, brother. We missed you. Get in the chat. Throw some predictions. Who do you think anytime goal scorer is going to be tonight? Because it's Leon Draisaitl's world. He is basically the Pope. Dylan, let's go Oilers. Cup, yeah, baby. Give him everything you've got. JR, who, Brett, we just got to meet live and in person. Absolute beauty. Absolute stud. He might have even provided us with some prop comedy that we could use maybe later tonight on Oilers Nation After Dark if the game goes the way we want it to go. Cheryl, one of our many queens we've got here in the chat because she's been in here. She's an OG. Game 2, here we go. Can we get a cup? Yeah?
Cup, yeah.
There it is. Ren's in with a simple cup, yeah?
A cup, yeah.
Fighting Amish. Does Bordzy have a beersy? LFG Oilers. Cup, yeah. Root
beer. Root beer.
Nope. You know me.
Root beer.
I'm running on strictly hot coffee right now at 6:30 p.m. at Greta.
Life runs on Folgers.
Absolutely. Shot of espresso. Might have a couple of those tonight as well. A win tonight, and it's the series. We ain't. Then other queen, Veronica's in, letting us know that she does, in fact, love Connor McDavid. Vibes are good. Also like seeing Lance. He says, wish I was an OG. Lance, you're the definition of an OG. Boss man also says, Nuge goal tonight. I like the Edmonton Oilers power play tonight. It's not on the bankroll, but I'll let you in on something else a strategy that I'm trying out this evening on Bet365. But Daniel, the sun is shining. Brett, what did the Greta manager just say to us? What was his line about a beautiful day to go up 2-0?
It's a beautiful day to go up 2-0.
And why not, brother? I mean, the goal has and always will be you want to steal one on the road. But, brother, I'm saying why don't you just get greedy? Because in game one, the Edmonton Oilers, dare I say, dominated the Vegas Golden Knights. Yet they actually came back from behind to win, which kind of feels like an oxymoron, a dominating comeback victory. But if you watch that game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They go down 0-2, not even 10 minutes into the hockey game. One of the worst starts you can ask for. It was a high stick. It was a double minor for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The Knights score almost immediately. The Oilers kill off the second half of it, and then Mark Stone scores a weak one 9 minutes into that first period. But Dan, from there on out, the Edmonton Oilers got into an excellent rhythm, and they never slowed down from there on out. It was kind of just one-way traffic going into the Vegas end for the majority of the evening. The Oilers held a 14-7 edge in high-danger chances at all strengths. Most importantly, at 5v5, the high-danger chances were 13-3. They outshot the Golden Knights 28-17 and obviously won the game 4-2. They were in control for most of it. They didn't have the lead, and I felt like in the second period, the Oilers pedal on the metal, foot on the gas. They were the aggressor. They were dominating. Vegas had one shot in that period, yet Adin Hill was standing tall, and it felt like the more the game went along, the Oilers just had to stay committed, stick with it, roll with it. Eventually, the Vegas Golden Knights will crack. That's exactly what happened. They got a bounce on the Leon Draisaitl goal, which still, he's the only guy that's going to knock a backhand puck out of the air behind the goal line, bank it off the goalie's pad, and you could say, no, that was actually entirely intentional. Vegas felt like they spent most of the game right in their own end, and the Oilers were able to capitalize when they needed to, when they got the chances. We'll talk about the power play a little bit later on. The Oilers dominated that game. You would think they'd be favorites in this hockey game tonight, yet it's the Vegas Golden Knights on home ice, -130. Edmonton Oilers money line, +110. That is calling my name, screaming my name after the dominating performance we saw in game one. Dan, overall vibes after game one, as you mentioned, the Oilers just simply don't win game one, so it was a fun time to celebrate. What'd you think of the Oilers' performance?
Yeah, well, I think you nailed it. On the back of that high sticking penalty, which was unfortunately a high sticking penalty, I was kind of hopeful that might have been Nuge hitting the Vegas Golden Knights stick there and bringing it up. But the review confirmed things for us. But this team, going into that night, and I was talking on Oilers Nation Radio that afternoon about kind of just planning to get punched in the mouth. And it really felt like Vegas was coming out and going to ride the wave of that power play and carry that on. But credit to this Oilers team, really didn't sit back very long before they just became the best team on the ice for the rest of the game. And it was just awesome to see. I had more, I think, hesitation in that game than I've had for a while for this team, just because I was worried that we were going to slide back into that game one, let them give us their best shot kind of mentality that we saw against the LA Kings that carried over even into game two before the Edmonton Oilers were able to figure out their own game and really take over that series. So absolutely wonderful to see this team starting off on the right foot, up 1-0. And tonight you're just playing with borrowed money, to steal a little term from Vegas there. You're having some fun tonight. You've seen what is working with Vegas. And I think that something that we saw coming into this was that a lot of the pundits and a lot of the people that watched Vegas play Minnesota there throughout that series felt like Vegas hadn't played their best game. And I think that we showed them in game one that they're going to have to be better to be able to keep up with us. And I just don't know if they have the horses to be able to figure that out fast enough before this team is able to go up 2-0, dare I say even 3-0 in this series.
We all remember 2023, the Vegas Golden Knights defeat the Oilers 6 games, go on to win the Stanley Cup. While they're still a great team, they're not the same team, and that applies to the Edmonton Oilers as well, because the depth, as we have seen from, I'll say overtime, maybe third period of game 4 on. This Oilers team is a completely different squad, and one that they don't even know what they're fully capable of, because this roster has now only played a couple of playoff games together, and it's starting to get better and better because, Dan, the Oilers' depth in so many different areas has become the story of their postseason, whether it's in the forward group. You got your Fredericks, your Canes, your Connor Browns, your everything. The D-core, John Klingberg coming out of absolutely fucking nowhere. And then the depth in the crease with one Calvin Pickard. But I want to talk about Connor Brown because this dude is quickly becoming the fan favorite in Edmonton right now. He's got 4 goals in 7 games. He has 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 2 games, which is the deciding one, game 6 against LA, and a big one. No bigger than that goal, that insurance goal breakaway on Adin Hill, looking beautiful. The goal was nice. The celebration was arguably even better from downtown Connor Brown. He's been awesome on the PK, and I do think he's brought one thing that the Oilers lacked a lot in the regular season, is speed on the wing. We all know they lost McLeod, they lost Holloway. We've been a little bit of a slower team, but that third line right now, Connor Brown is a cooking. He's been good in his own end. Truly is just kind of consistent as they come. You feel very safe when Connor Brown is out on the ice. You know what I caught Tyler Remchuk doing earlier today, Brett? I even forgot to tell you this. I could hear it on his phone. He was watching Connor Brown TikTok edit videos, just like those random ones that was like Ottawa Senators highlights into Oilers highlights with the craziest like star white pans, all those dissolves and whatnot. It was unreal. And Daniel, you've been in this fan base for an incredibly long time. We all know it. Every single year, we like to give out the Fernando Pisani Award. Is this guy the Fernando Pisani of this year's postseason run? We said it a lot last year about Matthias Janmark. Right now, Connor Brown through and through has been that guy. There's been a lot of depth, but I want to single him out because he has brought it night in, night out for the Edmonton Oilers in the postseason, much like he did last year. Some guys are just made for the playoffs.
Yeah, well, thank you, Lance. I am old man Dan, and I was alive and well and on the Sportsnet forums back in the day when Fernando Pisani was doing what he did for this franchise. And yes, I know 16 goals is a wonderful achievement to reach in any playoff run, and that is important, and that's why his name does come up all the time. But I think that for Fernando, and now you're seeing it with a Connor Brown, it is those intangibles. It's just those little things that, you know, you see it in the bench, you see it in the reaction to the goal, and then you see it when he goes and he stands in front of the Vegas Golden Knights bench. There in that celebration, it's just a little subtle thing that none of the rest of the team even knew what he was going to be doing, and then they cut to a shot of Leon and Kane just losing it on the bench because they're all egging him on to keep coming back and not do any more. But it's just those little things within a team that are going to be able to take you through that 14th and that 15th win that you need in these playoff runs to be able to take things to the end. So it's yeah, you can say that Connor Brown is our Fernando Pisani because of the goal scoring, but to me it's just the intangibles, and it's just the idea of a guy that we keep around every single year, and guys like Tyler and Liam, they will rag on him when he's not necessarily scoring all the goals that he's counting on or we're counting on from him. But when it comes to playoff time, you can count on downtown Connor Brown to be able to get us through and get us emotionally jacked up.
Now, to be fair, Tyler and Liam do love ripping on random tertiary Edmonton Oilers. We got to take some blame here because we were pretty big proprietors of the map here on pre and post game with Connor Brown. What did somebody say right here in the chat? Slick Sticks. Connor Brown was always the fan favorite. We even had a map for him last season back in the day. Levi's in. That whole third line is giving some of that there. Some Italiano right there. Avi's in. We got our lineup combos perfect. Got the stacked line. Top line, 97-29. Second line is nasty, right? Hyman, Evander Kane, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And then that third line can be a buzzing Rico, Trent, Frederick, Connor Brown. And then the fact that RV and Pods spent pretty much 82 games as the second line with Leon Draisaitl and have dropped down to the fourth line with Matthias Janmark, but have still kept the same style of play, been as effective, albeit in less minutes now, but I still think they've brought their game. The depth on this team is absolutely insane, and I hate that Nathan put this in and I actually Googled it because obviously you were fucking with me, but I wanted to see. I was like, holy shit, that would be an insane coincidence. No, Wikipedia doesn't even give Connor Brown's middle name, so I do not know. The other guy that I mentioned kind of at the beginning there, Dan, John Klingberg, he's been a revelation for the Edmonton Oilers in this postseason. I laugh that we go from 4 minutes and 54 seconds, Josh Brown in game 1 of round 1, all the way to John Klingberg, who's basically playing just under 20 minutes every single night. We talked about it with Doobie on Oilers Nation After Dark after the last one, but the luxury of having John Klingberg in your own end, head up, confident, able to make clean, crisp breakout passes out of your own end. Vegas has been known for their very hard forecheck. They force defensemen to make errors in their own end. I understand it's only one game, but this applied even in round 1 against the LA Queen. The LA, almost called them Queens there, almost called them a little bit everything, the LA Kings. But John Klingberg's just been fantastic. There's 2 goals. Which one was it? The Hyman one for sure, and then the second one, which was the Leon Draisaitl goal. They both start. John Klingberg doesn't get on the score sheet. He doesn't get credited with an apple, but they are 2 breakout passes that either start at his blue line or behind the net, head up, pressure in front of him, zip it halfway down the ice, tape to tape. It's something that's incredibly valuable, especially against a team like Vegas in the way I just mentioned, but even more so when you don't have the veteran presence of Matthias Ekholm on your back end. We've all heard about it. Freddie's getting healthy. Kaner's getting healthy. More importantly here, John Klingberg is getting healthy. Feels great playing just under the 20 minutes a night that I mentioned. He's been awesome, Dan. What can you say about John Klingberg? And hand up, we've mentioned it all. I said some shit about John Klingberg in the regular season. Tyler and Liam, they apologized for Janmark. They won't apologize for Klingberg because nobody saw this coming. Dan, did you see this coming?
No, absolutely not. I still do find myself, I think, probably more in the Bouchard hater club when it comes to a John Klingberg, where I do think that you have to accept some of the, the good with the bad there. I still think that there's a bit of a rough player in John Klingberg, and you just have to learn to accept that. Yeah, it's been exciting for this team, and especially for a team where I think that I don't know if everybody necessarily knew exactly what Matthias Ekholm was going to mean to this team until we've seen him just absolutely falter with health down the stretch here. So yeah, I mean, for Klingberg to come in, hold that spot, and yeah, there's a certain level of confidence and swagger that it gives the rest of this team to just be able to drop that puck back, and it doesn't have to go back to Connor legging it up the ice. Instead, it's John Klingberg, and more often than not, the pass is not going to be as dangerous as you'd hope, but every once in a while there is a pizza that you just have to learn to accept, and that's where I say that I kind of find myself in that Bouchard hater club a little bit more with Klingberg, because I find myself waiting for that pizza, but you love to see it from the forwards, and that confidence that it does instill in them to know that 80-90% of the time that pass is going to be a beauty.
And it will come. That pizza will come. Shoot. Shooter's going to find a way, and you just got to live by the sword, die by the sword, right? I can't believe I just made that sound. I did that. That came out like a sneeze. Some people in here, this fighting Amish applies to Klingberg as well. I'm a fan of CB, but I did participate in the bashing. The tough love method worked as far as I can tell. You're damn right. We'll take credit for it. And I will give Lance credit. I said Klingberg would be important come playoff time. I feel like I do remember Lance saying that. Then not Owie. Apparently Connor Brown's middle name is Michael. So now we can cross that off as well. So close to Fernando? No, not even a little bit. Before we continue along here, our show presented by Sherwood Ford, of course. We didn't get the chance to play him earlier on Oilers Nation every day, but we got some game notes courtesy of our friends here at Sherwood Ford. Let's take a listen. Brett's telling me to kill time. You ready? Nope, he's not ready. Well, Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. Let's hear him.
Not led a series 2-0 since 2017 against the Anaheim Ducks.
The Oilers held the Golden Knights to just 7 shots in the final 2 periods the other night, while they peppered Adin Hill with 18 shots of their own. Let's go Oilers!
This is the Oilers' first 5-game winning streak since December 16th.
Can't hear you.
Nope. Now can you hear me?
There we go. Yep.
There you go. Whatever. And I got it. Does everyone in the chat, Giant Mike, if you're in the chat, who is the gentleman in the second one that always yells, "Let's go Oilers"? And where did he get the loud cup from? Because I need to find a way for me to get even louder when we're here at these bars. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. Dan, final thing, and then we'll get into our need-to-know information more on the Vegas Golden Knights side of things, right? Because we can only talk about the Oilers for so long. And this kind of sounds like hyperbole, but it really wasn't. But the Vegas Golden Knights forecheck in game one was kind of virtually non-existent, dude, and it allowed the Oilers to open up wave after wave after wave of attack that leads to the line after line after line, and in turn had the Edmonton Oilers barely defending in their own end. We obviously know the Edmonton Oilers, they're an offensive team. They're a team that knows how to push the pace, but when their decor was able to, I don't even know how, the Vegas forwards coming in so thick, they're coming in so mean on the forecheck, but the Oilers were so clear and concise with their passes. Before you knew it, the puck was out of the zone. And we know the Edmonton Oilers, that's what kills them, right? Errors in their own end, unforced errors, especially against a team like the Vegas Golden Knights. They can kill you. But in that game, Vegas had next to nothing going offensively, dude. They had 17 shots on goal in 60 whole minutes. 8 of those 17 shots came on the power play. They obviously had, 3 minutes or so to start out the hockey game, meaning they only had 9 shots on goal at 5-on-5. They couldn't create anything consistently in the offensive end. And obviously the Vegas Golden Knights, they're a Stanley Cup pedigree team. I do not expect that we're going to get that bad of a performance again. You would bank on them bringing a better effort tonight. Bruce Cassidy has made a couple changes to their lineup to address some of those concerns, specifically the forecheck and playing with speed. So Ivan Barbashev moves to the top line with Eichel and Stone, where Wild Bill Karlsson was before. He also mentioned guys like Brett Howden, not Brett Holden, who is producing behind the scenes, is going to be very important on the forecheck, but no Pavel Dorofeev. We'll find out about Alex Pietrangelo. In fact, I'll keep my eye on Twitter right now because he's a game-time decision. No idea here, but Vegas, Stan, they kind of need to play an entirely different hockey game in game 2 tonight.
Yeah, well, it's a team that seemed to kind of get away from it a little bit, get mucked up there in the area. They got some power plays out of it, and I appreciate that from them. But yeah, it was definitely a very different feeling, especially in that second period. Every single attack from Vegas was just snuffed out real quick. A lot of aggression from the Oilers defense, a lot of aggression right at that blue line, protecting coming into the zone. And it really didn't feel like, yes, I think some of the Oilers offense was held to the outside zone, but they were controlling possession that entire second period and really felt like they had a priority in just demanding and commanding the play. And that's something that we said back in the LA Kings series, where it is just, when this team is playing forward and they're on the front foot and attacking, it's amazing what the defense and the goalies can do with a little less time and a little less pressure on the back end. And so, yes, so I was excited to see that, but then also, have credit to Pickard and credit to the defense going in an entire second period, really shutting them down, and then having Vegas come on in the third period, and they were able to hold on and hold them and shut them out, shut down the door. We know that pressure is going to be coming tonight. Vegas is going to, to me, this is a must win for them. They don't want to be heading into Edmonton down 2-0. So you got to expect that the doors are going to be blown off, especially in this first period. And it's going to be one of those situations of bend, don't break, and be aggressive again in your own defensive zone.
It is 100% must win, can't lose territory. Should I shoot my gun again? Unload the clip. There it is as well. But yeah, and especially the Oilers. We'll talk to Devin Dubnick, who will join us here the last 15 minutes of pregaming, how important the start is going to be, because they may have won the game. The Oilers may have 5 consecutive comeback victories in a row. That's maybe not an ideal strategy when you're taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. 2 quick ad reads here, Brett. Want to give some love to Odd Company, Nation Beer, Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day. Perfect for every day of the week. The boys had a good chuckle today when I explained that I have already gone through my flat from round 1. The funny part is I watch every single game here, so I just was able to drink them casually in my backyard. Also, if you were listening to ONE yesterday, you saw a tree fell down in my backyard, I am happy to report I used a chainsaw for hours yesterday, and I got firewood for days. And I'm going to be drinking Odd Company Nation beer while I'm having that fire in my backyard. So shout out to them. Pick them up 2 locations in the Edmonton area or liquorconnect.com. Now, Brett, need to know information courtesy of Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Wilhauk name, made from 100% Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, marinated, and savory perfection. Yeah, to savory perfection. Man, that's the first time I've messed up this ad read off the dome in a very long time. Pick them up exclusively out of their Leduc location. For more information and to get Yo Jerky on, head to WilhaukBeefJerky.com. So for the Edmonton Oilers, as I just said, first team with 5 straight comeback playoff wins. Not ideal, but damn it, it is fun to live bet the comeback, and it is very entertaining hockey when the Edmonton Oilers do it. Tonight, I'd prefer just a 60-minute effort. That would be nice. The Edmonton Oilers scored 3 unanswered goals in the third period of Game 1. They have now outscored their opponents 17-6 in the third period this postseason. Also 1-0 in overtime. Brett, in what?
Overtime winner.
Thank you very much. So this was one, Brett. I don't know if you brought the tweet in, but it was explaining the history of Game 1 series winners when it's like home and away. So the winner of Game 1 wins the series 68% of the time. However, when it's the road team that wins Game 1, it's not actually that decisive. So when it's the road team, they win 56% of the time. And then this one stinks. When the home team wins Game 2 after losing the first game, they win 57% of the time. Those, to me, just numbers. They don't fucking matter in any way, shape, or form. Brett, we'll zip them right back off the screen now because we're done with those numbers. But hey, kind of tells you, though, that losing at home in Game 1, Dan, isn't necessarily a death sentence, like he said there at the bottom of the tweet. That's fair.
But usually the team that is the home team in Game 1 is usually the superior team of the two when it comes to the ranking, and I just don't think you can say that. And I believe I'm being objective here as I can be in saying that Vegas is definitely not the clear and away favorite in this series to begin with, let alone now that they're down 1-0. So yeah, I understand the statistics are the statistics and numbers don't lie. But in this case, I don't know if I would be. That sounds a little bit more like copium to me from Sinbin, which I love the outlet there, but sounds a little bit more like copium than it is hopium.
Now, definitely copium. I do want to. Sinbin Sports does great stuff. If you want Kent Bolke, I believe is his name, he's a great Twitter follow for the rest of the series. Then you can unfollow him when you're done. Don't worry, when we're done. I did that with LA reporters. Followed him for 2 weeks. Kicked him to the curb, unfollowed. I even had tweet notifications on for him. We're done with that now, baby. We're done. Hopefully not 5 years in a row. The Oilers not expected to make any lineup changes in this game. Simply, why would you? Brett, if you want to pull it up one more time, we can go through it. Yeah. Sorry, you have it there on the screen. And finally, Calvin Pickard is expected to get the start. He stopped 15 of 17 in Game 1 for an .882 save percentage. But most importantly, 5-0 in the postseason. If it ain't broke, do not fix it. Calvin Pickard, still the only undefeated goalie left in the NHL postseason. So, Golden Knights side of the need to know. So, Game 1 was the 4th time in 102 playoff games in the franchise's history where the Golden Knights lost a game where they had a multi-goal lead. It was the first time they've ever lost a game with a multi-goal lead in regulation. The last time it happened was during the bubble playoffs against the Dallas Stars, which was actually 56 playoff games ago for the Vegas Golden Knights. So you might say they're not due to do that one again. And you're saying, hey, this Oilers squad is so damn good that they're able to make this team, this elite squad with this playoff history, falter in the clutch moments. Vegas, they are making a change to their lineup. Brad, do you just want to pull that one up for me? If you can, it'll just be easier to go through. So this was yesterday's practice. Pietrangelo still may be in the lineup tonight. Who knows? But this is what they skated yesterday. Ivan Barbashev moves from the third line up to the top line with Eichel and Stone. Second line stays Brandon Saad, Tomas Hertl, Victor Olofsson. Brett Howden, not Holden, with Wild Bill Carlson and Riley Smith. Then your fourth line, which I think is more of a stereotypical fourth line, Tanner Pearson, Waugh, and Keegan Colasar. And then you see the D pairings, which we'll find out when we hear the status of Alex Pietrangelo. The one guy we did get confirmed status on, Pavel Dorofeyev, is confirmed out. Come on now, that's a pretty good one for the Oilers. He is the least known 35 goal scorer in the NHL this season. Finally, Adin Hill, he's going to get the game 2 start. Stopped 24 of 28 in game 1, 857 save percentage. Yesterday, he actually had a maintenance day at practice, which I guess so far through this playoff run has been a pretty regular thing for him. Read into that at your own peril. Who knows? Guy got picked apart. He needed to take a day to fix his psyche. Also, we saw it in the third period. You might want to be going high glove on one Adin Hill as this series moves along. Daniel, let's quickly do our Sherwood Ford Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant valet service for a reason. And we just found out that we're pretty much all out of, or they're pretty much all out of their care packages that they give to nation citizens when they do the Nation Valet service, which is in fact them coming to your house, them coming to your office, picking up your vehicle, driving it back to the shop, servicing it, and then driving it back to you before you even know what really happened. So, Dan, my storyline, I said in game 1, it was going to apply to both game 1 and 2, steal one on the road, find a way to take back home ice advantage. I'll be honest with you. Wasn't that confident the Oilers were going to do it in game 1, but here we are. So why not get greedy? Why not grab that stranglehold over the Vegas Golden Knights and have them very, very nervous heading back into Rogers Place on a Saturday night in Edmonton? If you're not going to the game that night, you should bring your ass down to Greta Bar-Yeg, because the Oilers dominated in game 1, and I'm looking for it again tonight. So I do want to share this one thing. Oilers Nation every day. I'm checking the comments. I'm engaging with all you guys. You know the drill. And there was one comment on yesterday's episode that I couldn't even believe. If I could see this guy in person, A, I'd give him a hug. B, I'd say, brother, it's just game 1. But Vegas Bucks 3519 commented on our show and said, as a Vegas Golden Knights fan, how in the hell can they be favored in game 2 when they were thoroughly outplayed and outclassed by Edmonton? After watching that game, I can't see any way Vegas will even compete with the Oilers after last night. They were a turnover machine due to the relentless pressure put on by Edmonton. If Vegas gets one game, it will have to be game 2, because they aren't even close in any way to going into Edmonton and winning. I never thought a team could do that to the Knights. It's hard to watch from where I sat. Must have been great for those north of the border. I read that message and comment 1,000 times because, hey, brother, it's only one game. Momentum doesn't carry over. But when the fans are talking like that and we're in their heads, tells me maybe I'm not fully dispensing the Kool-Aid, fully drinking the Kool-Aid. My key to victory, Dan, on the other side is just continuing to roll that depth, continuing to be able to roll all 4 lines. The craziest part of game 1, the Oilers would have shifts where they hem the Golden Knights in their own end for 45 seconds to a minute. But it would be the second line of Nuge, Kane, Hyman. They get the job done for a bit. Then they throw out Rico, Frederick Brownie. They'd get a shift. And then you throw out 97 and 29 with Corey Perry. It's a luxury we have not been able to see much of in the Edmonton Oilers' Mick Dry history. But holy shit, they've looked good. So key to victory, keep on rolling. And Dan, you got a storyline or a key to victory?
Well, for me, the storyline, and I'm not going to take full credit for it because Mr. Liam Horrobin was the one that pointed this out on Oilers Nation Radio before game 1, but it is going to be shoot often and shoot high glove on Adin Hill. His glove, we saw it with the first goal. I mean, the first goal was, the Leon Draisaitl tying goal was not, I don't know if that's necessarily fair to say that was high glove. It was above the ceiling.
It was really high glove. It was really high.
I was trying to keep it from flying or floating in, but definitely think that you need to go high glove on Adin Hill. And a second key to victory, if it is true that Chad is saying that Alex Pietrangelo will play tonight, is to watch your wrists. Because if he's playing at half strength and he thinks he might be out for the next game, we know he's willing to take a suspension to see that out. So I hope that we're playing the body hard on Pietrangelo. We don't necessarily get into the weeds with these guys and give them any way to get back into this series, but definitely watch your own wrists because that is a dirty piece of shit.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, Dan. I actually made us watch the highlight of that slash on Game 1's pre-gaming just to get the fucking blood boiling again, baby, and get the hatred, get you feeling right. Also, quickly, before we move into the Oilers lineup and go through it, I just want to give a quick shout-out to pre-gaming, double the beer sponsor. Shout-out to Budweiser, baby, because they are our newest friend here on pre-gaming with Bordzy. It's been 45 years that they've been brewing Budweiser in Edmonton, and they partnered with Mark Messier, a proud Edmontonian, on their new limited edition can. The brand set out to ignite the city of champion spirit at a time when Budweiser knows this city is getting lit. That's me changing up the ad read because we is be getting lit. The brand's giving Edmontonians a new way to express their pride in raising a cold one and reminding them that the championship spirit still runs deep. Shout out to the coffee that is inside my cup right now. So, Brett, just pull it up one more time in case we have anyone joining us late. No expected changes to the Oilers lineup. We looked at it. I love this squad. I wouldn't change simply anything. It's a classic. If it ain't broke, do not fix it. Dan, we got to go quick here. I have this method that I'm trying out tonight. So, because Zach Hyman and Corey Perry are sharing power play time, both of them on Bet365 for a power play point. Hyman's 525, Corey Perry's 500. We talked about it on ONE today. Now, I did so responsibly, but I put a unit on every single of the 6 Oilers players who are on the power play. So that's Hyman and Corey Perry with the regular cast of characters, because I think the Oilers power play, they didn't come through. They didn't pull through in Game 1. I thought they looked good when they're in the zone, struggled a little bit to get set up. But my thought process here is everything was so juicy. If Hyman or Perry get a power play point, say good night, baby, Bet365, because I'm going after you. But Dan, thoughts on the Oilers power play? Am I crazy for doing this tonight? I'm doing it responsibly. Small units. We don't unit shame here, but I already did it. Card laid's card played.
No, I think that this power play is just, it's heating up and going to continue to be something that's I think that it's indicative of this team and our Game 1 efforts sometimes, where we do just kind of feel out what the other team is going to give us on that power play. And I think that you'll see this power play adjust and make those tweaks. I don't know if we'll necessarily see all of those points handed out tonight, but I'm cheering for you anyways, pal. You know I always am.
But it's right. I only need the only thing that can happen is a power play unassisted goal from Connor McDavid, because then there'd be only one guy getting the point and whatnot. But I believe, ride with me if you want to. I know some of the ONE boys are here as well. Let's move here quickly because we're going to have Dubes join us in less than 10 minutes. Starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. It's summertime outside right now. May long weekend is just around the corner. Head on over to Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, your hub for any outdoor toys, whatever you need, ATVs, dirt bikes, boats, scooters, you name it, they got it. Bert, pull it up for me, the head-to-head, the tail of the tape between these two goaltenders. This is overall in the NHL playoffs so far. Adin Hill, 4-3, 3-0-1 goals against, 8.76 save percentage. Calvin Pickard, 5-0, 2.76 goals against, 8.91 save percentage. We talked with Doobie on Oilers Nation After Dark after Game 1, but talking about Calvin Pickard has given himself a leash. He has extended his leash here with every single game. Now, I don't expect him to have a stinker. I don't even want to talk like this, knocking on wood here. But I think if it's maybe a less than ideal game or whatever, I think he's built up enough trust here with the fan base. He's simply won 5 games in a row. He stops pucks in the third period. He stops them in overtime. That I do think, we've heard it from the coach, sounds like Stuart Skinner would eventually get the net at some point if this playoff series continues, or this playoff run continues to move along. But Dan, do you agree with me? Calvin Pickard, he's got a much longer leash than he did in Game 3 against the
Oh, my internet just lost you, but yep, I got you there. Yeah, I was actually surprised in Game 1 to not see Stuart Skinner as the starter. If I was to be one to follow the trends of this team, really feel like they've kind of they're set in their ways. And starting Pickard in Game 1 was really a positive trend to tell that to me to say that this team is willing to make adjustments based on what's working, and I like to see that. So yeah, I'm. You keep giving it back to Pickard until until he shows any kind of sign of faltering. And then I think it's a conversation now, whereas I believe it was just default back to Skinner. I think we're having a conversation here going forward, but I like to see that this team is able to make some adjustments and make adjustments on the fly for positive trends with this team.
Yeah, I see here Squishies for breakfast. Pickard's leash grows with every win, especially when you got 5 of them in a row. Davin said if he lets in 4 in 30 minutes or less, then he's out. Yeah, I guess fair enough. Who knows? And once again, I do think in a long playoff run, it happens in a lot of teams. I mean, it was more of an old school thing where you just had one goal. You played every single game. We've seen it in the past. Other guys starting here, other guys starting there. I believe, damn it, in both Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Let's go quickly here to the Greta Bar Yeg away lineup brought to you by my humble abode. People starting to fill in right now. I already had some delicious sweet chili wings with some side of ranch because every single game day here at Greta, they've got 50% off wings. It's Wing Wednesday every single game day. They've also got $5.50 Bud Lights, $20 pitchers. And something tells me some of the staff here is going to be handing out some of those. And as I'm always saying, Greta hands out special surprises. Brett, pull me back on the screen. Surprises, special gifts every single time the Edmonton Oilers score a goal. I'll let you imagine what they could be. Damn it, it's electric, and it's a very good time. So, Bert, I still also haven't seen anything confirmed here about Alex Pietrangelo. Have you? No,
I
you got
haven't
nothing?
yet. I've been scouring, so once we see something, we'll let you know, but nothing official yet.
So pull it up just one more time. This is what we are expecting for their forward group, at least. Ivan Barbashev, Eichel Stone, Brandon Saad with Tomas Hertl and Victor Olofsson, Brett Howden with Wild Bill, Riley Smith, Tanner Beerson with Nick Waugh, and Keegan Colasar. And then if Pietrangelo's in, this is where Daily Faceoff has him currently slotted. Braden McNabb with Theodore, Noah Hannafin with Zach Whitecloud, Nicholas Haig with Alex Pietrangelo. So Bruce Cassidy earlier said he has a chance to play. We know Dorofeyev is definitely for sure out. But Petey, there's a weird situation going on here, Dan, because they're saying that he's ill, yet the Sin Bin Sports guys were on Jason Greger earlier this week, and they said, might be calling bullshit on that one, that it might just be some gamesmanship here. Man is 35 years old. The man sat out 4 nations. Yes, Brett?
Jesse Granger, Danny Webster, Alex Pietrangelo is on the ice for warm-up.
Motherfucker. Well, there we go.
Wrists.
Alex Pietrangelo's on the ice for warm-ups 1 minute ago. So there we go. You could expect him to be in the lineup. I hope it's not an illness. I hope it's an actual injury. And I hope Leon Draisaitl touches the moon with his stick and brings it back down on his wrist to give some street justice, if you will, Daniel. But, Dan, you look at the squad, less than stellar in game 1. They've obviously changed up a couple of things. I asked this a lot in the regular season. I haven't asked it to anyone on Pregaming. Give me a player to watch for the Vegas Golden Knights because I wasn't watching any of them in game 1. They got nothing going.
Well, I'm looking at that bottom 6 for Vegas, and I really do think that Howden was a guy that I was surprised by his effort and think that I know that Mark Stone did score the 2 goals for Vegas, but outside of him and really just him on the power play, I think that Howden's a guy to watch for. I was actually really impressed with him.
Perfect. Also love this from Lance Kane because he knows me. I'm a huge Sum 41 guy. In the immortal word of Sum 41, it makes no difference to me. Let's go to Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365, because you know the drill, people. Whatever the moment, it is never ordinary when you are at Bet365. And this playoffs, come on, you can bet on literally everything. Game props, player props, totals, money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. And as I always say, only bet what you're willing to lose. Be smart. We don't unit shame. A win is a win is a win. So, as we've touched earlier, the Pope is going with the name Pope Leo. So this is a sign from the gods, literally, that this is Leon Draisaitl's night, and I'm rolling with it. He's in 3 of these photos. I'm going Leon anytime goal, plus 145. Nice and juicy for a guy who has played, I have it here, 7 career playoff games against the Vegas Golden Knights. Daniel, he has 7 career playoff goals against the Vegas Golden Knights. Come on, you got to be feeling it. Second one, Oilers money line. Thought they dominated game 1. It's a little crazy to me that after that performance, they are underdogs. Vegas minus 130. I do expect a much, much better punch from the Vegas Golden Knights in this hockey game, mostly because they have to. It's a must-win, can't-lose situation. But damn it, I believe in the Edmonton Oilers. And then finally, Leon Draisaitl, 2+ points, plus 130. I know Eli, other producer here at Oilers Nation, he just called it the Leon Draisaitl parlay. Took goal, assist, shot props, money line, a little bit of everything. I'm riding with Leon Draisaitl. Daniel, which of these 3 bets do you like the most? And do you got any money on anything on Bet365?
I don't right now. I'm on a bit of a freeze, a superstitious freeze, because I forgot to register a bet for game 3. And then, of course, we won. And then I was in Ontario for the next 2 games after that, so I wasn't able to register a bet for those. So I'm just on a pause right now, superstitious. I'm not all stitious. I'm just a little stitious. I butchered that joke. But my pick from Bordzy's bankroll would have to be the money line. I think that I understand why it's going this way, and I've mentioned this before to anybody that's listening. You remember that when these sports books set these lines, they want to see action on both sides of things, and I believe that a lot of people expect the Vegas Golden Knights to come out, and the sports books included, come out firing and pushing on all cylinders. And I think that the public believes that we won't be able to withstand that. So yeah, no, I agree with you on the money line. I think that that's the spot to look at.
I feel like this chat is just peddling rumors right now because they're saying that Troy Stetcher's in. I haven't seen that literally anywhere. So Brett, you haven't either. So
well, they were right about Pietrangelo playing.
Yeah, no, they were. Yeah, okay, so they're 1 for 2, and who knows? They'll be wrong in just 1 second. There's your 3 options for Bordzy's bankroll. And Daniel, let's get to our new friend, Devin Dubnick. His appearance is brought to you by Tourism Jasper. This summer, find your happy place in Jasper. From hiking trails, paddling wild waters, or sharing laughs by the fire, happiness finds you here. Jasper is open, vibrant, and ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. So drive over, play outside, soak up the fresh air, enjoy some food and drink, and maybe even stay up late because your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Plan your trip at jasper.travel/summer. And now we are joined by the new host of Ask Doobie. New episode dropped yesterday. I already watched it. I already threw down my courtesy like. It was fantastic. But Doobs, you may have just heard me. I even texted you earlier today. The new Pope. Yeah, he's American. Yeah, he's from Chicago, whatever. But he's going with the name Pope Leo. Is this a good omen? Brett, hit it for me one more time. Is this a good omen, and should I be betting the house on Leon Draisaitl responsibly, of course?
Well, it looks like you already are betting the house on it, so it's certainly not a bad omen by any means. And, they did a good job frustrating them a little bit last game. I mean, when you call frustrating still 2 points, they were just having to work a lot for what they were getting. And so I think if the Oilers can continue that depth rolling of lines, that's just going to wear Vegas down and open up those opportunities. I just don't think that you can play them that well every single night. I just think they're too good. And so if you're looking for a sign for Leon, he's not a bad guy to bet on.
Hey, shout out the Catholic Church. Shout out. Also, anyone in the chat is Catholic? Congrats. New Pope. Guy sounds fantastic. But I want to ask you, Doobie, one of the keys heading into the last game was the Edmonton Oilers start. We wanted them to get off to a good start. They, in fact, did not do that as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins takes a double minor high-sticking penalty. It was like a minute, 2 minutes into the hockey game. They obviously go down 1-0. They kill off the second half of the penalty. Then kind of an unforced error at the Vegas blue line. Vegas works it back down the ice, and before you know it, the Vegas Golden Knights are up 2-0, not even 10 minutes into the hockey game. Yes, it is awesome to watch the Edmonton Oilers rattle off these comeback victories. They've now done it 5 games in a row. But Doobie, that is not a very sustainable strategy in the long run. It's great for me on Bet365 when I believe and I'm live betting the comeback, but thoroughly once again tonight, this is must-win, can't-lose territory for Vegas. I expect they're going to throw their first punch to start this hockey game. It's going to be a good first punch. Do you agree? Huge emphasis on the start tonight. Don't dig yourself again.
Absolutely. And listen, it's awesome that they're doing what they're doing, and certainly expect if they do get down, they will. I think you just have to expect that push from Vegas. And it's not just about the fact that they lost the first game. It's always like that in Vegas. You have to be ready. The first 10 minutes, they're going to come out and they're going to try to overwhelm you. And they're going to go. The place is rocking. It's as loud as anywhere other than Edmonton. And that's part of what they try to do. And they did do that to the Oilers last game. Now, fortunately, Edmonton was able to stay with it and get back to what they wanted to do and start to take over the game. So I'm not necessarily saying that Edmonton's going to go out. I mean, the thing I've loved about the Oilers game is that it's their dictating, right? They're getting pucks in. They're going to work down low. They're tiring them out, forcing them to turn the puck over either in the neutral zone or just inside of their zone. And then they're snapping the puck up and going the other way. And it just feels like that second and third period last game, it's the Oilers are dictating the way the game is going and everything's going on. So I don't necessarily expect that to be possible to start the game, but when you're on the road, you do have to play differently sometimes. So it's important. All of those little chips in, all the crisp passes, making sure you're sharp, not turning pucks over, because that's what the Knights are going to be looking to pounce on, which they did to start last game, is just the sloppy D zone clears, maybe passes in the skates that everybody starts to get turned around. The crowd gets going and they put a couple in the net. That's really for the first 10 minutes. Avoid getting scored on. You don't have to worry about going crazy down at the other end. Just frustrate them. Make the game boring for 10 minutes. Don't let the crowd into it, and then get to work.
Well, Doobie, I'm the boring guy in the lineup. I'm one of the depth guys at Oilers Nation, and so I'm a guy that I like to look at the other team's depth, and I really do. I thought that the Vegas fourth line last game of Pearson, Howden, and Kolesar was pretty good, but you think that depth is going to be a key to tonight, hey?
I do, and I think because that's really what's allowed Edmonton. It's that sustained pressure, and like last game, the second period, they obviously controlled and they had the shots, but Vegas was doing a good job defending it. Edmonton didn't get frustrated. They didn't start forcing plays that weren't there, missing passes. That's just what Vegas is waiting for. They're going to try. They're going to defend. They're going to let you play in their zone. I thought as much as the shots were 14-1 or whatever they were, there wasn't a lot of great chances for Edmonton. They were working as hard as they could, but Vegas was doing a good job. They try to frustrate you into forcing things and then coming back the other way. And Edmonton really stuck with that. They continued that depth, the depth of the forward lines, where it was just next line up. And the guys were playing the minutes too. Like they were forcing Coach Knobloch to put them back out there, because every time they went out there, they were doing their job. They were getting pucks in below the goal line. They were hammering guys that are going to work. They were forcing Vegas into mistakes. Then that's going to open up opportunities for the big guys to go to work as well. So it is important for Edmonton's all four lines to be going out there and doing a job. You don't have to necessarily create grade A scoring chances, but if you're playing in the other team's end and you're wearing them down to where they can only come down, chip the puck back the other way, and you're going right down their throats, that just over the course of an entire game and an entire series, it is just exhausting and frustrating for the other team. And you could see Vegas, as that third period went on, just unable to make tape-to-tape passes because guys were all over them and they were tired, started getting forced into mistakes. 3-2, 4-2, game's over.
It was wave after wave after wave. Before you joined the show, I was saying how there was moments where it's the Nuge, Hyman, Evander Kane line putting in 45, 60 seconds of work, forechecking, grinding. They change. Okay, now it's Brownie, Rico, and Freddie. They're doing it. Then before you know it, 97 and 29 come over the boards and you go, holy shit. You mention it. Yes, you don't maybe necessarily need to score when you're those depth guys, but it's playing in the other team's end, tiring the shit out of those forwards playing in the defensive zone. They finally get the puck. They just got to dump it. They got to go change and go from there. If the Oilers can continue to keep rolling lines they were in game one, I like their chances in the NHL playoffs in general. But once again, job's not finished. That's only one game that we saw there. The other one, Connor and Leon, right? That's that kind of same thing there. When the rest of the depth is rolling, it's going to create opportunities for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. It affords the luxury of being able to put those two together. We joked the last After Dark Dubs that what an incredibly quiet evening for Connor and Leon, as they both had 2 points each. How blessed are we? We've talked about that Connor is an even plus 100 for 2 points again tonight. But it does feel like tonight, Tyler Remchuk on ONE today was saying, hey, I know the depth has been great for this team. I know it's been the storyline. But how about just a great supernova nuclear performance from Connor and Leon where they go off? I'm looking for the Oilers power play to feast tonight. Saw some good things in zone. Didn't totally love their entries, I'll say, in game one. I believe in this power play unit, but most importantly, I believe in Connor and Leon, not just because of the Pope, because I got that feeling going on tonight. Could you expect a big Connor and Leon night tonight?
I do. I think if there is that sustained pressure, again, I just don't think these guys are containable. And they are containable. If you have to worry about nobody else in the lineup, and every time the other lines are on the ice, you get to go play in the offensive zone, then it's great. You send your shutdown guys against Connor and Leon. You know, maybe they can't shut them down, maybe they can, but it's a lot easier to focus on that and go out and shut down one group. But when you're spending every single other shift trying to maybe not shut down offensive chances, but trying to just get the puck out of your end, and there's just chaos going on, and it goes down, comes back, goes down, comes back, goes down, and then all of a sudden 97 and 29 step on the ice and they're coming back. You don't have that focus on them. You can try, but if nobody else is going and everything else is stagnant, it's a lot easier for that group, for Vegas being at home, to match whoever they want on the ice with him. I'm assuming a Jack Eichel would be one of them, who's extremely good defending. You could see on McDavid, there's not a lot of guys that can defend him like that. That's easier to do when everybody else isn't going. So if they can continue to roll out that depth and have constant offensive zone pressure, it's hard to imagine these guys not doing what they've been doing all playoffs. And I mean, let's talk about the fact that, like you said, 2+ points is what is it? It's probably in the minuses now.
It's plus 100 tonight, and that's
plus 100. It's even money. It's like that is mind betting. 2+ points, and they've hit every game. Like it doesn't even make sense that 2+ points for two guys is even money. That's just how good these guys are, and it's hard. They had a frustrating night last game, and everyone else chipped in. It's hard to see that going 2 in a row.
Doobie, during the regular season, sometimes McDavid is like minus 135 to get 2+ points. In the regular season, if they put a plus sign next to 2 points, I auto smash it every time because I'm like, oh, it's Christmas. They're giving me a gift. And then you obviously get the beautiful payout. Brett, just to wrap it all up, the 3 keys we got tonight: better start, depth, all 4 lines got a roll, and then potential for a big Connor and Leon night. Doobie, I'll add my one key that I got. I thought the Edmonton Oilers defense score specifically, and we talked about it on ONAD, guys like John Klingberg, Jake Wallman, Bouchard, everyone really was very good in their own end. Crisp, clean breakout passes, were able to handle that Vegas forecheck, which really is kind of virtually non-existent because they were zipping the puck down the ice so fast that the Oilers really didn't even have to defend a whole lot in that hockey game, kind of proven by 17 total shots on goal in that hockey game for the Vegas Golden Knights. Wouldn't be us talking with you if we didn't talk about the goaltending situation. Calvin Pickard, yet again, getting the start. 5-0, only undefeated starting goaltender left in the NHL playoffs right now. Doobie, my confidence is through the roof with Cal. Now, Nobby's been very clear. He keeps saying that Stuart Skinner will eventually get a start somewhere in this postseason run. You can expect to see him back in the crease. We kind of talked about it on Tuesday, but for me, Pickard's leash has really grown, and I'm kind of like, regardless of the result tonight, game 3 on home ice, I'd rather have Calvin Pickard in the net than Stu. Thoughts on Calvin Pickard and what he's done so far this playoff?
Yeah, I think that's crazy talk to even consider. I don't even know why someone would say that Stuart Skinner is going to get back into the playoffs. Why? Right now, why would you even talk like that right now? Because Calvin Pickard's gone in and done nothing but win, and I have said, I've said in the past that I think if the Oilers go all the way, they're going to need Stuart Skinner at some point. I'm starting to fade away from that a little more each night, and I agree. I think that Calvin Pickard has 100% earned a leash, earned the ability to not have to be playing for his life every night. And I think if there is somewhere along this line that he does have an off night and he gives up a few and the Oilers lose a game, I think he's earned the right to get another start. I don't think it should just be an auto switch. I mean, this is not 1 game. This is not 2 games. This is 5 straight games now. And he's faced a lot of different adversity in these games as well. Look at last game. They go down 2-0. It's a new series, game 1 in Vegas. They go down 2-0 early. Place is going crazy. I mean, he's teed up to crumble right there, right? Is it like he's teed up for first round was great. Thanks, picks. We're going to go back to Skinner now, and he just shuts the door. And he didn't have a ton of work, but he made huge saves when the game was tied, and he's just making the saves that he needs to make, and the guys look comfortable in front of him. So I think he's earned that leash. It's Edmonton, so we're always going to talk about the goalies, but I think it's Pickard's net right now for good reason, and hopefully we don't have to worry about him coming out of there if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Where does the criticism of Edmonton come from, Doobie? I don't understand.
Hey, it's not criticism; they're just passionate fans. I've been there before. It's wow. They had pretty good reason to get after me when I was there. It wasn't a whole ton of notches in the win column, but these guys are winning, so you gotta lay off them a little bit. You know what I was thinking today, though? That's actually what Pickard's done is leading up to the playoffs, just being on Oilers every day and talking. It was just constant talk about the goaltender. So every game that they went into, constant talk about, break down this goal. Every goal that went in, was it good? Was it bad? First 2 games, same thing. It's like every goal, we're talking about Skinner, and it's like, you can't sit there and say that he played great, but then you go through the goals and you're like, they were terrible defensively, but it's like just so much conversation around it. And now all of a sudden there's like no conversation about it. It's like, yeah, Picks is 5-0. He's doing his thing. He's not stealing games or anything, but everyone is now shifting their focus to how well the Oilers are playing as a team and all the good things we're doing. And he's gotten the conversation away from it. And if it can just stay quiet back there, then all's good.
Dubes, you're totally right, because when you first was on with me, I was like, dude, I'm sorry that we keep having to lead off with goaltending conversation, but it's just a storyline going on right now, and I laughed. Edmonton, us being mean to goaltenders? No way. Hi, Jack Campbell. I wonder how you're doing, buddy. Devin Dubnick, we love you. You'll join us here on Oilers Nation After Dark, right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel at the conclusion of what we hope is an Oilers W. Dubes, before you go, score prediction, anytime goal scorer, what's happening tonight?
Oh, I'm going to go off the board a little bit. We got to stay positive here. So I'm going to go 3-2 Edmonton with the guy we pumped him up. I'm going to stay away from Leon. He's your guy. John Klingberg is going to sift one in from the point tonight.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I got to check that.
That's got to be, you might have to check that. That's got to be plus 900 or something. You just never know. You just never know. You got to go off the board sometimes.
Dan, what are you going with?
Might as well hit a lottery ticket. I love it. You know what? I kind of like Evander Kane in this spot. I think he's due. I'm going to go with Evander Kane. I know it's not as valuable as a John Klingberg, but
John Klingberg plus 1,600.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's pop that with an Oilers win. That's a parlay right there.
Oh,
if that happens, we all like white smoke.
All right, we're going to do that. Doobie, we love you. We appreciate you. You're the man. I can't wait to talk about a John Klingberg goal on Oilers Nation.
That's so good.
Over and out. We'll talk in just a bit.
All right, see you guys.
Bang. Perfect. Devin Dubnick brought to you by Tourism Jasper. Doobie, I'll say it. He's the fucking best, man. I can't believe we'd ever drive a guy like that out of town. Also, if we could do a citywide petition of Doobie for goalie coach, there'd be 250,000 signatures going on, because we are starting that one right now. Dubes, we love you. For me, my score prediction, 4-2 again for the Edmonton Oilers. One of them going to be an empty net goal. So if you're feeling puck line, go nuts. I'm just going with money line. Also, finally, shout out Noodle Noodle. You don't want to cook tonight. You want to order. You should also be drinking beers while eating Noodle while watching the Edmonton Oilers. Bert, great job producing behind the scenes. Dan, I love you. I didn't even check with you. Do you want to do After Dark with me? Because I'd love it if you did.
Sure.
That's my dog right there. That's my dog. I love and appreciate you, as well as Devin Dubnick, as well as every single person in this chat. Bert, did we get any super chats? One. Super chats in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. I gotta host this party. We're 4 minutes over. Tammy, hear me out. We are 5 games into a 16-game heater. Nice. Sweep all the rest of the series. I think so. Good, sir. Heart stick taps for Ben with a simple Brett. Give it to me. Cup, yeah.
Cup. Yep.
Over and out. I love you all. Let's talk about, hey, there's Tyler Remchuk walking in right now. I got to go host a party. Come on down to Greta. Drop Bordzy at the door if the line is long. We'll talk on Oilers Nation After Dark. Good luck in the Bet365 Battlegrounds. Peace.